Simple Suburban Living, and today I just wanted to kind of give you an update on the aquaponics system. Talk a little bit about overwintering plants, basically just taking things in from your garden and putting them inside, growing them indoors over the winter, growing them in a greenhouse over the winter, or in this case growing them in aquaponics over the winter. I'm going to show you a video clip that I took actually a few weeks ago now when we had our first frost warning, and I brought some of our pepper plants in. So I'm just going to kind of show you the process of putting those in here real quick, and then I'll give you an update on the rest of the system. So go ahead and show you that now. Okay, so these are some of the pepper plants that we brought in from the Square Foot Garden. These were planted a little bit late and didn't end up growing very well. We had some poor soil mixture. Obviously these are planted too close together. We just threw some seeds in and kind of let them go. So we're having a frost warning tonight, and so I ran out and grabbed these. Figured that I would pop them into the aquaponics system and see if we can overwinter these. I've got a couple bean plants I may try to grab as well. I don't know if there's anything else out there worth saving, but from what I've read and heard, these bell peppers overwinter very well. So we're going to try that. So all I'm doing here is whenever I plant seedlings or anything else, I've done this in other videos, in older videos, from dirt into the aquaponics, just grab some water and kind of wash off the root. It's okay if we get some soil in there, not a big deal. Okay, and then I'm just going to try to, these are real close together, so this is going to be difficult, but I'm going to try to separate these as best I can. It's easiest to do it in the water because they kind of slip apart, so sorry if I'm blocking the view here. The roots that they grow outside in the dirt are quite a bit more hardy and sturdy than the ones that grow in the aquaponics, because when they're in the aquaponics they have all the nutrients that they need, and so they don't need to grow very deep and long and thick. They don't have to work very hard for nutrients, so these should be fine. Even though I ripped a couple of the roots here, they should be okay. Alright, so that's a pretty good little roots in there. These are nice little healthy plants. They just didn't grow very fast, so got 3 there. Now this is going to be a little bit of a surprise because I don't actually know what kind these are, whether they're, I've got a few different colored bell peppers and a few different varieties here. So this will be the mystery garden we're planting out. So what I figured for one of these half barrels is pretty much that 1/2 barrel with a larger fruiting plant like this, whether it be like a tomato or a bell peppers or something like that, bush beans. It's about six plants can go in here pretty well. 3 along each side. It gives them enough room to grow out in whichever way they need to grow. So, all right, we'll get to planting. I've shown this quite a few times, but the taller plants I try to put in the back, or anything that I expect is going to grow taller, and that's for obvious reasons. I'm up against a wall here, and I really can only reach in from the front side of these grow beds, and so I want the shortest plants to be in the front. Now eventually these are all going to be a decent size, but to the start here they're going to be smaller. These 3 over here are going to be smaller than these 3, so I try to plant the tallest ones in the back. And like I said, I've gone through this quite a few times, but essentially all you're doing is just tucking the roots in there the best you can and covering them with rock. It's not a real complicated process. And we'll see how these do. I'm not sure if they're going to do extremely well, only because it's a pretty big shock moving them in from outside. It's colder weather here, mid-October. I guess it's still the beginning of October, really. But colder weather outside, so they're a little bit of a climate shock going from outside to in. And they're also going from growing in soil to growing in aquaponics, which is a little bit of a shock in itself. So, but we'll see. You know, if they don't make it, they don't make it. It was kind of a, they didn't really grow this summer, so if I didn't have the aquaponics system, I would have just let them die out there. This is one of the huge advantages, I think, of doing indoor gardening of any type, really. I mean, whether you're doing a soil indoor garden or just have a greenhouse that you maybe heat. You know, I've seen a few different YouTubers that have overwintered plants. In fact, I'll link over to one who kind of gave me the confidence to try a lot of this planting, and that's I think it's MHP Gardener or MPH Gardener. MHP Gardener, I believe. I'll link over to that in the description to his channel. I'll see if I can find the video where he takes his green peppers and trims them all down and actually overwinters them in his, not aquaponics, in his greenhouse, just in dirt. And I guess he keeps it above freezing in there, and they survive. So I've never actually tried that, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, so it's been a couple weeks, a few weeks actually, since I put these green pepper plants in here, and they're doing great. So as can be expected, there's a little bit of a shock when you transplant, but so they haven't grown enormously, and pepper plants grow very slowly anyway. But you can see quite a few little peppers and flowers starting on, oops, my finger's in the way, quite a few of these, you know, this one here has got a few peppers on it in the back there, doing real well. Got my little buddy back there helping with that one, and you'll see up on the front here I'm starting to plant some new seeds. I'm going to be doing kind of an overhaul on the system here in the next couple weeks, and I'll take you guys along for that as well. But I've got some spinach growing here, over here in the Swiss chard and celery jungle. I've got a couple bean plants, bush beans, that'll be growing. I've got a few more that should be sprouting up here pretty soon as well, I'm hoping. And in the back here, I've got some rosemary and dill and chives and stuff. I'm going to be taking all that out, and I'm going to take the celery out. We're going to focus on growing plants that that produce a lot of fruit for us, and things that are a little bit more expensive in the store, like the green peppers and stuff like that. So we're going to really get a good production going of a few select items instead of growing a whole lot of a bunch of different things. And over here, this is the pepper plants that we transplanted a little over a month ago, and they're doing okay. There's always a shock when you transplant. This one back here, I'm not sure if it's going to make it. It's got some new growth on it, but it's been real slow. You see a lot of yellowing on the leaves, and so like this one right here, a lot of the older leaves are going to fall off this plant, and you can see a lot of new growth in here on some of these smaller, greener leaves here, and those will come through. So it takes about a month, it seems like, for these pepper plants to come back from that transplant. So, but still have, you know, it's flowering, and I've got a couple peppers growing in there. There's one larger one, and there's a couple others in here as well in different places. But banana peppers down here, and we got a little jalapeno. It's I need to cut that off. It's this plant's way too small to have that on there, so I need to get rid of that. But and I've got some tomatoes here. This is just the first one that sprouted up. I planted these about 6 days ago, and these are going to go into this bed over here, and those are a dwarf variety of tomato, so hopefully I'll be able to maintain them in here a little bit better. It's a dwarf Roma tomato that I'm trying out. I'll link over at the end of here to a video that I did this summer where I had regular tomatoes growing in here, and they just got out of control. They were growing too tall, up to the ceiling and up to the windows and everything else. So I'm going to try a smaller variety. And then over here I've got the kale and celery jungle over here. This stuff's growing great. I mean, really couldn't ask for a better. We don't use the kale as much. We did do some kale pastas and some other things with it, kale chips and that. But we just don't use the kale very often, and we're not using the celery very much either. We found that we just aren't using that very often. It has a very, very strong celery flavor, and so it's not good. Like the stuff you get at the store is real watery, and you know, you can use it like the kids will eat it in snacks and stuff. But this has a very strong celery flavor. I don't know if it's the variety that we have or if it's just the aquaponics that, you know, has it growing very, you know, nutrient dense, but it's really only good for cooking, to be honest with you. And we've used it in a lot of soups and stuff like that. It's great, but so we're going to take all this out and we're going to focus on the tomatoes and beans and spinach, I think. So we'll be taking you along for that here in the next few weeks. And I never show the fish, but fish are over here, and this water is just absolutely crystal clear all the way to the bottom of this 55-gallon drum. I think we still have can't count the fish, but pretty sure we have about 75 fish in here still. And everything's been doing great. I mean, I've had no issues with the tanks. I've had no issues with the swirl filter. Actually have to clean that out. It's got some algae growing on it. Everything else has been running very, very well. So I'll get back into focus. Carbonates in the system are coming down. I just did a test and it's at about 7. If you watched my last video, they were up about over 12, at about 15 actually, the carbonate levels in the system, and so I want to get that down to about 3. And it's just taken a while. I got to do little water change outs each day, and so it's about half of what it was a couple weeks ago, and so that's good progress. So we'll keep you up to date on everything here. If you guys have questions, please throw them down below about overwintering stuff or planting things in aquaponics or anything else. Please throw your comments or suggestions or anything like that below. I do appreciate and try to answer all of those. Hit thumbs up on the video. Now's the time just to go down and click thumbs up. I really do appreciate that. It always helps the video and it helps me as well. So as always, I thank you for watching. Have a good one.